My name is Brian, and this is where MAGA comes to talk. Was that not the best State of the Union you've ever seen? You know, President Trump in that State of the Union was just, it shows you American pride is back. And he just humiliated these lowlife Democrats who wouldn't stand for things that are universally things you stand for, right? Remembering, you know, when you won't stand to defend the lives of Americans over Somali pirates and illegals, what kind of person are you, right? You know, and the way that Ilhan Omar and Tlaib behaved, Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, was so smart not to remove them. Let them sit there and humiliate themselves and expose their disgusting Democrat Party for what they are. That was, it was a State of the Union, but what President Trump really was doing was roasting the Democrats. And the theme was a very important theme. And the theme was, look at how many people are dead in this country because of the Democrats and their policies. And they're pissed off. They're sitting there fuming that they can't get more Americans killed by their precious illegals. I've never seen a State of the Union where the opposition party was so humiliated. I tell you, it was beautiful. And these idiot Democrats just played right into President Trump's hand every step of the way, exposing themselves whenever he gave them the opportunity to do so, that they're not just not American first. The Democrats believe that these illegals are like entitled to kill Americans, it seems to me. How could you not stand to show respect for a mother who's lost her daughter? They're worried about the rights of the murderer. And that State of the Union is not only the greatest State of the Union ever, longest one too, but it will go down in history as one of the greatest State of the Unions ever, if not the greatest. What a way to kick off the midterm election season, huh? A perfect way to kick off the midterm election season, with showing the Democrats as what they are, who they are, and what they represent. And they are scumbags. If you're new to my channel, my name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure that you subscribe, all right? Yeah, this was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful State of the Union. Best president ever. That's right, John. Welcome. If you're new, welcome to the channel. On my next stream, which will be in just over an hour, I'll be in the studio and I'll be taking your calls live about the State of the Union. You can share your thoughts. I mean, how can you not stand acknowledging that your first duty is to protect Americans? The Democrats never miss an opportunity to humiliate themselves. I'm going to put my seatbelt on. The president did a fantastic job exposing them for what they are. He really did, just totally exposing them for what they are. Right? Un-American and anti-American. You know, and I know the Democrats don't like it, but that's the truth. That is what their party is. You know, and that's what they're running on in the midterms. How can we not win? If we have a large voter turnout, swamp them at the polls, we will win. And we've got to win, because if the Democrats win, it's going to go back to what we had before. Howdy from Ohio, my home state. I'm in Florida now, but originally from Ohio. So welcome, Ohio. Make sure you subscribe. You know, the Democrat Party, they've always been wrong about things. The Democrats are always on the wrong side of everything historically. But this is a party that's been taken over by foreigners, many of them immigrants with sketchy immigration status that got them into the country, who hate this country, and they're over here to rip off our country, lead colonizers of our country, and just wreak havoc. And Ilhan Omar is sitting over there pissed off that the thieves, the Somali pirates of Minneapolis, have been caught. Ilhan Omar and Tlaib are sitting over there pissed off that President Trump is honoring a mother who lost her child from one of their precious, and she was a Ukrainian immigrant. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, the Democrats were completely unhinged. Yes, welcome. Make sure you subscribe, guys. If you're new, I host a morning show, and I will be taking live calls in the studio. You can call me, whichever side of the political spectrum you're on. But how could anyone defend the way the Democrats behaved last night? How could anybody defend that? It is indefensible. How could anyone criticize anything that the president said last night? The things that President Trump said in his State of the Union were not just amazing. That was the least partisan State of the Union speech I think has ever been given. I really believe that. The things that he talked about are bipartisan issues. Stopping illegal immigration, stopping drugs, stopping Americans from being raped and murdered by illegals. Who's against that? Those are not partisan issues. But the Democrats sitting over there pissed off. How dare you, Donald Trump, stop these Americans from being killed by our illegals? How dare you? Who do you think you are? Isn't that the kind of attitude they had? There's no way to defend the way the Democrats reacted last night. Are the Democrats self-aware enough to know that they screwed up last night? And I think Ilhan Omar and Tlaib were expecting to get kicked out, but they didn't. And that was great, having the camera on them. I have Ilhan Omar in the thumbnail with the president on the morning show. It's already set up there. That was such a wise decision not to throw them out. They wanted to be thrown out, and they sat up there. And how many Republican votes did Tlaib and Ilhan Omar get us last night in the midterms? A lot. I mean, they're pissed off that President Trump's stopping people from being murdered. Think about that. What goes through their freaking minds, right? And I love how President Trump brought the people in, like introduced the guests. That's new. That's new. And it was nice that he brought Erica Kirk there. And I'm guessing that Erica Kirk wound up there last night because of this disgusting Candace Owens piece that Candace Owens is promising to drop soon. Just slandering Erica Kirk. And these poor angel families. Even the Democrat pundits can't control themselves. They just can't control themselves. Because they're sick. That's why. They just cannot control themselves. They're very twisted people. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And would you guys agree with me? Give me a yes or no on this. Would you agree that that was the least partisan State of the Union speech you've ever seen a president give? Because there's nothing he talked about that seems like a partisan issue. Who's against voter ID? Here I am in my car. I got to have my driver's license, state-issued photo ID to drive this car, but not to vote? Come on. These are not partisan issues. And I don't know of anything he said that truly is a partisan issue. It's not partisan because creep anti-American people that have made their ways in the Congress are opposed to it. These are not partisan issues. There are some things that are not partisan issues, like being against people murdering American citizens. That's not a partisan issue. Yeah, Bright. I mean, that's... You have to have an ID to shovel snow in New York City. That is true. That's not a joke. I mean, isn't that crazy? And yeah. And you also have to have a Social Security card to shovel snow in New York City. The hypocrisy of the left never ceases to amaze me. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You just can't. They're so far gone, you know. And I'm waiting for the coffee shop to open. I've been up all night. I mean, you know, such a great speech. Such a great speech. Now, I'm going to, on the show today, I'll be taking your calls. I'll be live in about an hour. I'll be taking your calls on the State of the Union and playing some of the highlights, but I wish I could play the whole thing, but I can't. I got to just play clips. But, you know, when they say it was the longest, it was, but the Republicans were very smart. There wasn't a lot of filler applause. You know, like they say Bill Clinton had the second longest, but they had a lot of filler applause, the Democrats, to try to fake support. You know, you don't have to have 5 minutes of fake applause to make it sound like what the president's saying is popular. The things that President Trump said are popular. Everyone is against murder, aren't they? Makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. And when he asked them to stand, that was the best. That was the highlight. I'm behind on. Well, I've been up all night. I've been up all night, and I'm behind on coffee. So, unfortunately, I'm out of coffee creamer at home. So, drinking my coffee black. Ugh, I hate that. The taste of the coffee without the creamer is enough to wake me up more so than the caffeine. No, there's nothing there they can defend. Nothing. The Democrats, if I were a Democrat, any Democrats in here, I would be humiliated if my party behaved like those Democrats did last night. Wouldn't you? Oh. I wonder, from President Trump's perspective, did it go according to plan or better than expected? I think it was better than expected. You know, I really do think it was, and I'd like to know if Mike Johnson and the president talked before the State of the Union about not ejecting the Democrat people doing the outburst. And I remember when Obama, I can't remember the Republican congressman. He's probably not in Congress anymore. I can't remember who it was. But Obama's State of the Union, and then one Republican yelled, "You lied!" And oh my goodness, all hell broke loose, the media. And here you have Ilhan Omar yelling at the president nonstop. Yeah, the Democrats were amazingly bad. Amazingly bad. I agree with that Book of Chan. I mean, we knew the Democrats were going to be bad, but who could have predicted they'd be that bad? The Democrats are MAGA losers. Yes, the Democrats are MAGA losers. No doubt, I agree with that. The Democrats are big-time MAGA losers. Yeah. I mean, what were the Democrats expressing last night that any decent person could agree with? I didn't see anything. Democrat losers, yep. The Democrats were Diddycrat losers, MAGA losers, yes. They were all of that. President Trump and us, and we're MAGA winners. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. President Trump's popularity among Republicans is in the 90s. It doesn't matter what the Democrats think. They're not going to vote Republican. It only matters what Republicans think. And Republican support for Trump is over 90%. So that helps us in the midterms. That means people are energized to go vote Republican. Who cares what who cares what a Democrat thinks about Trump? Those are meaningless polls. Mm-hmm. Oh, how could you not be proud of President Trump in that speech? How could you not be? You know, how could you not be? If you're new, make sure you subscribe. This is most definitely where MAGA comes to talk. It is 46 degrees here in South Florida. We're having a major cold front. If you didn't catch my podcast last night, make sure you do when I'm done with the stream here. It's the video before this. It has Dan Bongino in the thumbnail. Boy, oh boy. That's some podcast. You won't want to miss that podcast. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe and like the video. Boy, Candace Owens has made a big mistake with this Bride of Charlie thing. But she's too crazy to know it. I mean, she's completely insane. Completely insane. Oh man, this weather is cold, cold, cold. I've got the heat on in the car. I've got the seat heater on. I've got the steering wheel heater on. We're very spoiled in Florida. I love how Ilhan Omar reacted. She was so out of control. I mean, who does she think she is? She's a guest in this country. You know, the American people, we love immigrants. We embrace immigrants. You come here, you know. We welcome her into our country. She betrays us, rips us off, steals. And then she gets pissed off when you catch her and her friends stealing. The Somali pirates of Minneapolis. And when President Trump was talking about third world countries where corruption and stealing is just a part of the culture, the camera was on Ilhan Omar, and I don't know who the Democrat congresswoman was sitting to Omar's right. Tlaib was on her left. I don't know who that Democrat was on her right, but she was consoling her. It's okay. Please. No, it's not okay. That's the problem. If she were a normal person, the cold is affecting my voice. If Ilhan Omar were a normal person, she'd be embarrassed and ashamed. But no, how dare you? How dare you stop our thievery? How dare you expose our corruption? How dare you bring to justice these people from the Leering centers of Minneapolis? I mean, that's her attitude. But it's, you know, when President Trump yesterday had or was the day before yesterday, he had the angel families in the Oval Office. And then it was 2 days of highlighting how many Americans are dead because of the Democrats. And he said it last night. They want to get reelected and take over so they can continue what led to all of these Americans getting killed. Because they don't care about Americans. They don't shed tears for Americans dying or being killed in these violent ways. It's almost like they feel the illegals are entitled to kill Americans, doesn't it? I mean, it really feels that way. I mean, very strange. Everything about them is just strange. Chat here. Yeah, they have no respect. They feel they're entitled to steal our tax money. That's right. That's right, Marcus. Yep. Yeah. Oh, Trump looks great. Trump looked awesome. Oh, yeah, Trump looked great last night. Yeah, very entitled. Very entitled. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Now, on the next stream, which will be in less than an hour, I'll be in the studio taking your calls, and you're very much welcome to call me and share your thoughts on the State of the Union. That, in my opinion, that was the greatest State of the Union I've ever seen. It was more of a roast than it was a State of the Union, a roast of the Democrats. And it was 100% nonpartisan. I didn't hear anything in that State of the Union that is a partisan issue. Does that make sense to you guys? Not one, not a single thing. It was very nonpartisan. How is being opposed to illegals murdering Americans, how is that partisan? Can someone explain that to me? Greatest president ever. Greatest president ever. We're so lucky to be living through this time. You know, I love when he gave the Medal of Freedom to the guy from Team USA. I mean, that's just, you know, honored Marco Rubio. There was not one slow moment in that State of the Union. Every second of that State of the Union was just beautiful. Oh yeah, this is most definitely where MAGA comes to talk on this channel. That's right. Boy. You know, Democrats, you know, like the trolls in this chat right now, I mean, they're like psychopaths. What did President Trump say in the State of the Union last night that you could disagree with? Nothing he brought up is there a legitimate argument to disagree with. You can reference whatever talking point you want to reference, but pick something that he said last night that you disagree with. I didn't hear a single partisan statement. Very unusual for State of the Unions. There's never been one like this. And this State of the Union was crafted to expose the Democrats for what they are. Now, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. Don't miss the next stream. The next stream is already set up. So when I end this, the chat's already there. So you can jump over there and chat even though the show hasn't started yet. And the thumbnail is the president at the State of the Union. You see Ilhan Omar, Melania, Erica Kirk in the thumbnail. It's already there. And that'll be the next stream. I'll be in the studio taking your live calls. My name's Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. I'll see you on the next stream, guys. Take care. Thanks for watching.